Alfonso just got married. We were some of the groom. There was a groomsmen party of 5, which was fantastic. And I thought when people asked me how was the wedding, I was like, there was a part where real magic happened. You know, the ceremony was great and all, but to me, there was a different thing. There was partying till 5 in the morning, right? Which I didn't do. Y'all, I'm a little out of that age. We partied till 5 in the morning, and when I caught you guys the next morning after breakfast, Tito's sitting on the edge of the bed and he says, "Okay, I got to write these vows." So let's start here for a second. The thing was fantastic. You know, you guys did some beautiful things. You and your bride look incredible. We love you both. And there was a lot of incredible moments. But I want to talk particularly about what I call the magic, you know, and the power of the groomsmen circle, because, you know, we can talk to that. And that's so you guys all see this picture?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about what was happening here. Just start from where we are. What was happening in this moment?
All right, so it was day of the wedding. I wrote, I would say, about 2/3 of the vows. And then you asked me to recite it to the group, which I was not going to do. I was going to like kind of be on my own, be in my little corner, but you asked me to recite it. I recited it, and y'all were like, cool, we can make it better, basically. And then we got together as a team and workshopped the hell out of this thing.
One of the things that I think is key importance is this other thing, is who you chose, right? I've been to too many weddings, but this moment is really important to me because you had 5 married dudes as your backup. So being able to draw on 5 married dudes' experience to sit down, no matter how little sleep we had, no matter how much party and stuff happened the night before, and say, I need to workshop these vows. That shit was a stroke of fucking genius or luck. I don't know which one I'm attributing to you, but you did really well. So let's tell the story as how it was revealed to you. Like, what did you see, Harold? What was happening that morning?
So, you know, we all had kind of woken up, well, at least a quarter of us, of the group, of the groomsmen. We were in the room, kind of hanging out, and as Ali mentioned, asked about the vows, and he was at a point where he was probably 75% of there, maybe 70, and we said recite it. And as we know, Ali does not want to do that in front of everybody, but I'm like, we all said it's gonna be a way bigger crowd, and we got to make sure that whatever is said, the words in there, they all sing, right? So let us hear what you got. He told us what he had, and it was not trash, but it was about 7 steps higher. So we said, it wasn't the content itself, it was the composition. So we had to pull it together, right? He had all the thoughts there. And we can't make that up. We can't create that. Only he can say that. But putting it together, we all put our own touch on it, right? So we heard him say it. We said, okay, let's make some shifts here. Let's do this, that. Let's put this up higher because it's of more importance. And then let's work our way down. He repeated it about three times. By the 4th time, we were good money. You know, that's when we knew it was like, this is it. Like, we heard it and we were like, wow. And even when he heard it, he was kind of like shocked. Not in like a bad way, but just like, oh, this really came together. And I think that's when the magic happened. And like you said, the fact of having a full groom squad that's all married, you know, we can pull from our own experience and say, these are things that you probably should want to say, and this is how you might want to say it. You know, even eye contact, all that, reading it from the phone, pausing, all those things were a part of the construction or the reconstruction of the vows.
Right. So Alfonso's a notoriously nervous public speaker who also does not know what to do with his hands while public speaking. Hence the coffee cup. He was not drinking coffee. He needed to have a device in his hand.
And then he put it down and was doing this with every line when he spoke.
What'd you see, Russ?
President.
I think the first piece of magic was that you had read us what you had, and then you said, no, I need more. I need more. And we were all saying, you know, the content is there, but if you slow down, then it will come together. And then that's where we started to chop it up and to add and subtract. But just, first of all, taking that moment to speak to your wife and not the crowd, like acting as if it's just the two of you up there and we're just flies on the wall or bees in the audience. That was a magic moment to say, slow down and speak the truth. But then the second thing, it was also admirable. We all went to sleep at varied times, 2, 3, 5, and 6. you were the latest and had to actually like ask the innkeeper, Madame Toussaint, for the key to your room so I could get you up. And then we got up and you said, I got to write my vows. That's like Bubba Wallace showing up to Talladega saying, let me get my permit. You're there and you're like, let me get the groundwork in right now.
So, Alfonso, how did you feel about the finished product?
Oh, it was excellent. So, like what everyone was saying, I had the ideas. I'm not a great public speaker. Jamila is a great public speaker, but also have this like internal like battle that we have going on of like when we do an interview or something, we'll answer the question, both of us, and we'll look at each other like, yeah, I had the better answer right there. You know what I mean? So I knew she was gonna like do some stuff in her vows that I wasn't gonna be able to do because she's a natural dope public speaker. So I need to have like the written text sharp, right? This is what I can win. I can win in this little bucket. So I like really try to be honest and poetic, but it was jumbled. It was too fast. And then you guys had me slow it down in delivery, had me think like slow it down on words, not just between sentences. And I think that part alone really helped to deliver the message. Even like it could have been a dope message and I could have ruined the delivery, right? But when it was showtime, I was able to deliver the words, deliver the message, and do it clearly enough that people in the crowd said they had tears. So
yeah, it was definitely a moment. And maybe I'm biased because we were there during the workshop piece, and like hearing you actually listen to the mentoring for once, like in real time, instead of waiting 5 years. From the time at like 10 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon, that thing to me had turned 180 degrees. Like you always knew what you felt in your heart, but having to draw on Harold, Russ, Dante, what's the other brother's name? Marcel, and their experience and their feedback, I felt like really crystallized what you were feeling. Because in my mind, you weren't really articulating well why. You were saying like it needs to be longer, and I thought we were at a point where like we had it, and Harold did this incredible thing. He grabbed your phone and like created a Mad Lib for you.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
I'm the comms guy, so I mean I should be able to do that. But what I will say is this, right? I think Ali, I think you're selling yourself short when you talk about when you do the comparison, right? The comparison contrast, because as we know, Jamila is extremely wax poetic with her words. She's great with that, and she's great in that atmosphere. But in the same token, I think you are also very detail oriented, right? So the things that you're going to pull out, it might not be as lengthy, but they're going to be impactful. And you've always been like that since like grade school. So I think that it wasn't the volume, but it was the magnitude of what you said, and each word carried weight. So when you showed it to me and we broke down, added spaces in between, and I added those components in there, it wasn't like, this wasn't plagiarism, right? We weren't Googling anything. What we were doing, I was putting something in there to get you to a point where you just say, okay, that triggered something. Let me put this in, because you already had those pieces. And then once you did that, you felt comfortable. Because if I would have wrote something in there, it wouldn't have felt authentic. You wouldn't have even read it authentically. But when you were able to insert it, that increased your comfort level, and that allowed you to feel like, all right, this is something that can come, a burden that can come down from my shoulders now. So that was a big thing. And I think, like you said, all was coming together, Brendan saying like, listen, man, slow down, act like Jamila is in front of you. You talking to her, don't look down at the phone the entire time. And I'm telling you, you see that video, you did everything that we talked about, like collectively, all pieces were included in there. So, it was magic, like you said.
I had to get you guys on because we're doing this show, my wife and I, called Advisory Mode. this was really about relationships, about parenting, about partnerships. And I thought that it was just really magical and very smart that you had the guys that you had. You knew you could trust all those guys. I mean, I don't know, among us, there's 40 years probably of marriage just on your groomsman side. You don't often see that. And I think that it's a real tangible example of what that experience meant in this moment. You got what else you got, Russ, before we wrap?
That's it. I just want to lock it in. I know your ring is probably by the sink, but I want the Planeteers to lock in one last time on film.
With our powers combined.
No, we're all proud of you, man. You know, we love you. It's good to see us all, from little youngins, from, 10, 11, 12 years old to now grow up, be men, and to be able to provide for our families, for our homes, for our communities. It's grown so much bigger, and we're affecting so many other lives for the people that we don't even know yet, possibly.
Yeah, I need to say that I'm glad to have y'all in my life. Like, I only have 6 friends, and like 5 of them showed up to my wedding. So, I really appreciate it. And like, that picture where all of our rings are together, like we might even submit that to Essence. Like that's a cool picture. And, all the stigmas and all the stereotypes, and it was just cool to see that, like, hey, all my groomsmen are married. I mean, some of the single ladies were a little bit pissed at me because of that, but it is what it is. Like, all the groomsmen are married? Like, I'm sorry, they're all married. Apologize. I'm the last one. But yeah, I'm glad I picked y'all. I'm glad, like, we were the ones in the room at the moment. I'm glad that, like, you guys put all your skills and experiences together to help me make this one really, really important document, and that it turned out as magical as it was, both from the written word and the delivery. So thank you all.